Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Nasty out at the Miller Electric Center. Day 2 in pads, physicality. As the great Carl Spackler once said of Caddyshack fame, great big gobs of greasy, grimy gopher guts. And they were getting after it today. Some cheap shots. Lining up guys in the back. It was good to see. It was. Sat there with Leon Searcy, sat there with Hayes, sat there with Tom McManus. Just about everyone else is on the other side of the field watching, 7-on-7 offensive against defensive work. And I understand that that's where most of the attention is. I said yesterday that I would spend more time today trying to get into the ditch, trying to get a feel for things. And attitudes were up. A lot of after the whistle activity, one of which, really kind of manifested. It happened really quick, but I believe it was Walker Little and DJ Coleman. And they were having at it. Then all of a sudden, Ezra Cleveland. Okay? I mean, almost like the running of the Bulls. Ezra Cleveland pulled and fired a punch. And the next thing I know, this is about 20, and people are like, well, who's in it? I'm like, well, everyone's in it. It was 20-some-odd guys grabbing face masks, going after one another. It wasn't a huge skirmish that we've seen throughout training camp at a lot of different places. But in my opinion, this is expected. You need some of this. I'll tell you who was very physical today and was getting into it the entire day was Blake Hance. There's a guy right there that is really fighting, for a roster spot. To see him going at it with Tyler Lacey, another guy in his second season who is fighting for a roster spot. Honestly, I love it. These guys are competing. They're trying to win jobs. And, Greg Huntington, I talked with him a little bit earlier today, and he's like, I loved hearing you yesterday on the radio. You were talking about you want your offensive linemen to spit nails and not to shower, not to brush your teeth. I've always felt that way about the offensive line. I think it's the identity to a great team. You could say all you want about skill position guys, but I want a group of 5 offensive linemen that are not going to allow anyone to touch Trevor Lawrence. And hopefully this year pave the way, not only for ETN, but for Tank. And there's more on Tank today. What a day for Tank Bigsby. I'll get to that momentarily. Press Taylor talking about him. I'm actually going to share some of those comments with you coming up here momentarily. I thought it was well thought out and pretty expressive. Year 1 to year 2 on Tank Bigsby. I know. Do we have a kangaroo court set up yet, JJ, for every time I say that I think Tank Bigsby is going to come on board in year 2 where I'm getting fined?
Yeah, we have a little kitty, a jar, that you have to put $1 in every time you bring up a player during the off season.
Maybe we'll bring a couple of listeners on and we'll tabulate that kitty at the end of the year, and you and I will take him out.
I would love that.
Okay, nothing but draft beers.
On Tank Bigsby.
Right, yeah, on Tank, because that's the way that I feel about this guy. But more on him coming up in just a little bit. This isn't a bit. This isn't a shtick. Okay, for those of you who've been listening to me forever, I absolutely appreciate you for that. But I have always been about the offensive line. And here on the final day of July, to me, it is the biggest problem with this franchise, period. Matter of fact, I think it's a sizable drop until you get to number 2. It has to improve drastically. Pass protection was better than run blocking, but they both have to make serious steps forward if this is going to be a playoff team in 2024 in Duval. Cam Robinson looked good today. Consecutive days now against Trayvon Walker. I watched 2 reps today, this morning, with Cam Robinson and Trayvon Walker. And let me tell you something. Cam did his job. Okay? He absolutely did his job. That is encouraging. That is very encouraging. And I understand that, for a lot of you out there, you're always going to have Cam's back. I think you know my opinion on it. I think he's grossly overpaid. I don't think you can count on him because he's not going to give you 17 games. Again, I really do. I hope I'm wrong. You got to understand that. I really hope that I am wrong. But overall, that was a good day today for the offensive line. And when you watch teamwork, and let me tell you, today, 2 hours, 45 minutes. All right? This was an extended bad boy. 2 hours, 45 minutes, a ton of teamwork today, 11 on 11, 7 on 7, Shad Khan in attendance. And, I thought last Saturday was so bad offensively, and I thought that the message was crystal clear. They need an off day, and they got it on Sunday. Well, they've worked hard on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. They have an off day tomorrow. I don't think they need it. Okay, they're still going to get it. They've earned it. But it's totally different, in my opinion, to look at how things went on Saturday, where that off day was needed on Sunday. This off day tomorrow, again, I don't think is needed. They practiced really well this morning, and again, it was an incredibly lengthy practice for the Jacksonville Jaguars. One thing with Tank Bigsby today, during 11 on 11, ran the ball, and the play was over, and it was over for like a couple of seconds, and all of a sudden, he took a huge shot from behind, and I don't even know how to pronounce this cat's name. Azia Adamaro, I believe, in his third year out of Minnesota. Okay, number 90. I'm not even sure how to pronounce his name. Maybe if he makes a play somewhere down the line, I will find out. Let me see. Do they have the guide here on how to do that? Okay, it says right here, S.A. Zioto Mewo. That is how you pronounce his name. And you can't do that. You're talking about your quickest way to the Greyhound bus and out of Duval. You can't take a cheap shot like that after the play and use both hands around the shoulder pads, a blind shot, and send Tank Bigsby reeling. That can't happen. I just told you, I like the nasty and the stuff that happened in the pit. Okay? I mean, that has to happen. You have to form an identity. The flip side is, after the whistle is blown, you can't do things like that. So that was a little bit disappointing in my opinion. And let me tell you something. Tank got up, and Tank was ready to throw hands. Okay, that, again, very feisty out there this afternoon in camp for the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, Tank Bigsby, I'm going to continue on him for just a little bit because, it was another solid day for Trevor Lawrence. John Osher, who will join us here at 7 o'clock, he had Trevor Lawrence today, 14 of 17, combined on 11 on 11 work and 7 on 7 work. A touchdown pass from Trevor Lawrence to Travis Etienne during 7 on 7. A touchdown pass from Trevor Lawrence to Tank Bigsby on 11 on 11. And, I think I discussed it yesterday about the touchdowns that Tank had and his ability to one-cut and use his vision. Very impressive. Man, he made a grab today. It was over the shoulder. Okay? I mean, I guess my opinion has been, if you're going to throw the ball to Tank, it's out of the backfield, and Tank's still in the backfield, and he turns around to face Lawrence, and it's a ball that hits him right in the chest, with his back almost turned to the defense, if you understand what I'm saying, or partially turned towards the defense, maybe a 90-degree angle. I didn't expect him looking like Jerry Rice, okay? I didn't expect him to be making over-the-shoulder catches today. The thought with Tank Bigsby early on has been he has worked as hard as anyone on catching the football. My comments during the offseason and during OTAs were not kind. He had one practice that was just absolutely awful. He couldn't catch anything. And I remember coming out that day saying to you, even though I'm all about Tank getting things done in year number 2, he can't be involved in your passing offense. He just cannot. Well, he's making me eat those words. He's improving more and more and more. And he did that this afternoon with that particular reception. The secondary, and I think the back seven, this is a better back seven. It's a better scheme, but guys are beginning to play better football. Okay? Christian Braswell, he's going to make this team. Christian Braswell has had a spectacular camp. Okay? Battling Christian Kirk again today. I keep talking about, can you get one of these young corners to step up? And, I think you're going to get 2 young corners to step up and 1 young safety to step up when you look at Christian Braswell, Jarian Jones, and, of course, the safety being Antonio Johnson. But this is a guy whose coverage skills are scary. He's got the speed. He has got the athleticism. There's never been a question about that. For him, unfortunately, it's been all about health, right? It's about avoiding injuries. And if he can do that, this is a real positive so far. I'm going to ask John Osher about him next hour. He's a guy that daily catches my eye in the secondary. It just feels like they're doing a better job covering. And that was obviously the case in the first 4 days of practice, right? When the defense won all 4 days. I think they won the practice on Monday. I think they went 5-0 until Trevor Lawrence just absolutely picked them apart on Tuesday. I thought it was a good day as well today for the offense. But it's noticeable just how much better the coverage is here in the secondary. Devin Lloyd. All right, a lot of talk about Devin Lloyd. He seems to be all over the football field early on in teamwork. All right, and what impresses me here is my opinion on Devin Lloyd is in his first two seasons in Jacksonville, he's thought too much. There are guys that you just want to play football and trust their instincts and go on out there and make plays. When the scheme really gets involved and it becomes, particularly in coverage, okay? It's not necessarily against the run. I'm talking about in coverage. But with him, for the most part, being over at Mike, and with Foye Oluokun now moving over to the will linebacker position, yeah, if you were ranking players and what we've seen now 7 days in, there's no way around it. I mean, Devin Lloyd absolutely has done some really good things on this defense. Devon Hamilton, all right? If you rewound the tape from a year ago, I said time and again, Devon Hamilton, in my opinion, was the best defensive lineman in the month of August at the Miller Electric Center in 2023. Then the back situation flared up. He could make a huge difference. I know I touched upon this just briefly. It was either yesterday or Monday with all of the attention on the return, to 100% of Eric Armstead and the return of 100% of Roy Robertson Harris. It almost feels like Devon Hamilton is forgotten here. And I don't think so. To me, there's no question about it. Devon Hamilton should be a starter. It should be Trayvon Walker, Devon Hamilton, Eric Armstead, and Josh Hines-Allen. To me, Hamilton is better than Roy Robertson Harris. And I know Robertson Harris was brought in as a big edge, a 3-4 defensive edge. What type of role is he going to have? They've brought him back slowly. He's not as involved in teamwork as perhaps you would like to see at this particular time. But obviously they're doing what they know best, and it's only a matter of time until he gets fully entrenched. But Mason Smith has made plays. All right, there's a guy with phenomenal ability. And all of a sudden, if you can just look at Devon Hamilton and Mason Smith and Jordan Jefferson. I was supposed to catch up with Jordan Jefferson after practice today. He did not work. He's got an ankle, unfortunately. So I don't know if this is bad news, but the last 2 days, guys that I was supposed to interview called in lame. Keelan Robinson on Tuesday with the toe, and then it was Jordan Jefferson with the ankle today. So a couple of guys unable to give it a go. Hey, one positive, even though I really didn't see much today, nothing really stood out. But I mentioned Ventrell Miller, and as talented as he is, the guy just makes plays. He's a football player. You know, he left yesterday with a tight hamstring. He did return today. And again, nothing really stood out. I don't know how much work he got, but he was back out there. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you anything differently. I just didn't notice him today. Again, there's 90 guys working. You can't watch all 90. It's impossible. And if you can, good for you. But yeah, Devon Hamilton, early in camp, really doing some nice things. You know, I do believe where you look at the ditch and you look at them being 8-3, and we know all of the numbers. They couldn't run the ball in the second half of the season. What? ETN went from 5.1 a carry to 3.8 a carry. ETN led the NFL in getting hit at the line of scrimmage and behind the line of scrimmage. It added up to be 25% of the carries, which is just awful, okay? I mean, you talk about a massive turd. There's no way you can shine that bad boy up. That is awful. 25% of your carries, you're caught at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage. So, you know, their average per game went down significantly. On the other side, because of injuries, and, you know, you can always cook books because of the fact that teams were ahead of Jacksonville in those final 6. They ran the ball more than they passed it, but you still look at the numbers and they are tremendously alarming. Allowing 44 more yards a game on the ground, 44 a game in your final 6 contests. So right now on the surface, it's like you better get better on that offensive line. You better get better on that defensive line. Only 2 days in pads. This is a very premature feeling. I think the defensive line is ahead of the offensive line. I think the defensive line has a chance to be really good, particularly in the interior. Yes, I'm a little concerned about rush, edge, 3 and 4. I am. Travis Gibson's 3. You know, I talked with Yasir Abdullah, interviewed him on Saturday. He's basically in coverage. Doesn't feel like he's going to be that guy. They brought in a couple of players with some experience, like Rasheem Green, who was brought in yesterday. You've got a guy with a phenomenal body, but just hasn't produced in the collegiate level in Miles Cole. And, you know, there's actually a few people out there, Dave Campbell among them, who like DJ Coleman. You know, this is one of those guys who looks like a football player. Looks like he's got the type of body to get after the quarterback. Hey, he's only been around for a couple of years. There's still a chance, albeit, you know, I wouldn't bet the mortgage on that, but we shall see. All right, we got a lot to do, man. Great to be with you. I just love days like this when, you know, there's a little spice to the Jaguars practice. They're going to be off tomorrow, back on it on Friday. They're going to be practicing in the stadium on Saturday. And then, man, that week just carries on, Sunday, Monday, and on throughout the early part of August. Of course, August, believe it or not, actually does kick off tomorrow. Want to tell you that opening comments are brought to you by Shmunez Vision. It's a good thing I've been with Shmunez Vision because a lot of this work is way down on the other side, and you got to have good eyes to try to identify exactly what is taking place. And, you know, I often wonder why it is that people neglect their eyes. If something's bothering you with your body, you automatically make an appointment with your doctor and you get it fixed. But when it comes to your eyes, it's like, yeah, you know, I'll get to it. I'll get to it next week. I'll get to it next month. Why would you do that? Certainly you can make an appointment and go in there to get yourself a prescription update, right? But it's so much more than that. We're talking about high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Shmunez, fellowship trained in cornea, cataract surgery, all refractive surgery. Combined, man, along with Dr. Neo Shmunez, that's more than 30 years worth of laser eye surgery experience. Just imagine the rest of your days never having to squint, never having to go look for your readers, never having to pass out on the lazy boy, then you got to get up and take your contacts out. None of that. Instead, you have perfect 20/20 20. Make an appointment. Go to Shmunez Vision. Better yet, check them out on Instagram. All the testimonials are there at Shmunez Vision. All right, when we come back, bring in JJ LaSalva. Let's bring you in. Let's get a little bit of you in on this Wednesday. 641-1010. That is the calling, and that is our text line. And it's brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. It's the best way to ask any type of question that you have on the Jaguars or offer up any type of opinion that you have on the Jaguars. 641-1010. Again, that is the text line, and it's brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Now, a 1010XL Summer Olympic Update brought to you by
USAPark.net Airport Parking.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games. Swimming is concluded for the day in Paris with the first world record of these Summer Games. Pan Zhang Li of China won gold in the men's 100 free with a time of 46.40, besting his previous world mark by 0.4 of a second. Katie Ledecky won her 12th career Olympic medal and 8th career gold in the women's 1500 free. Ledecky's Olympic record time of 15:30.02 allowed her to cruise to the finish line more than 10 seconds ahead of the field. Ledecky is now tied for the most Olympic medals and gold medals among American women, with 2 more events to come on her Paris schedule. And the American duo of Austin Krajicek and Rajiv Ram ousted Rafael Nadal and Carlos Alcaraz in straight sets today to advance to the semifinals. The loss ends these games for Nadal, who bowed out of the singles tournament on Monday with a straight set 6-1, 6-4 loss to Novak Djokovic. With this Summer Games update, I'm Ryan Radke, Westwood One Sports.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. Not a rate based on Terry who keeps and makes the car behind them. Oh no, they're about to. Save with DriveWise and the Allstate app and only pay a rate based on you.
Not available in every state, subject to terms and conditions. Rating factors and savings vary, and in some states your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Wellness means something different to each of us. And at Westin Hotels and Resorts, we believe every step is an opportunity to enhance your well-being. Whether it's guided group runs and workout gear on demand, or nourishing food options and restorative rest in our heavenly bed. When you travel, you can find wellness at Westin, one of 30 hotel brands in the Marriott Bonvoy portfolio. Find wellness at Westin.
Frank Franzi here. Ready to experience used-phoria? You can with Car Bravo at Nimnik Buick GMC, Jacksonville's only Car Bravo certified dealer. Buying a certified used vehicle has never felt better. With Car Bravo, Nimnik Buick GMC can certify all makes and models: Honda, Toyota, Kia, Mazda, Ford. Nimnik Buick GMC is proud to be named the #1 Car Bravo dealer in the Southeast region and top 10 in the country. So shop online at Nimnik Buick GMC. Nimnik, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Your cooling system isn't working. Maybe somebody showed up with a portable electronic device. Then they discussed with you what your options are. Maybe they gave you an estimate that seems like an awful lot of money. What's the smart thing to do? When the situation merits a second opinion, get a Mike Merritt opinion. Yes, the Mike Merritt Comfort Team shows up with hand tools. We've never been able to fix an air conditioning problem with a tablet. Mike Merritt has been the trusted name for more than 30 years because there's never any hocus pocus. The Merritt team will walk you through the diagnostic steps up close and personal and show you exactly what you need. And the Mike Merit price is likely to be far less because there's never an overtime charge, and the Merit team doesn't work on commission. So remember, when it comes to the health of your cooling system, a second opinion can only help, and a Mike Merit opinion can save you money. Florida license CACO 50384.
The humidity may be rising, but the prices are dropping at Beard's Diamonds.
It's Christmas in July. Everything store-wide is on sale up to an unbelievable 40% off.
Don't shop anywhere until you shop Beard's Diamonds.
At the St. John's Town Center.
See the world through the eyes of a linebacker.
I tell it like I see it, and I see it like a middle linebacker.
Tom McManus joins Jaguars Today every Friday morning.
Period.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
Hey, it's Tony from Tony D's Pizza. If you love our pizza and pasta dishes, let us cater an event for you. Family function or office parties, we can deliver you an amazing Italian meal. Remember, it's not just pizza at Tony D's. Bay Meadows and $2.95.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast Orthopedic Specialists for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialists take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
You've got a Pepto predicament, Beach Bum.
Hey, we're heading down to the beach. You coming?
Yeah, Dad. You coming?
I had a little too much to eat at the resort buffet. I need a minute. Oh, you overdid it. And now your beach vacation is giving you belly waves. Undo it with Pepto.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto chewables provide fast 5-symptom relief so you can get back to making memories. When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Time now for a medical recap. A health and wellness tip from Jaguars head team physician, Dr. Kevin Kaplan.
Rotator cuff tears are the most common overhead injuries I see. In order to avoid shoulder issues, make sure not to overload the front of the shoulder while also focusing on developing good scapular strength and maintaining flexibility in your lats. Proper hydration, nutrition, and supplementation are also crucial to joint and muscle health. Go Jag.
Veterans, did you know VA mortgage rates have plummeted and you can now access up to 100% of your home's equity and turn that into cash right now? Hey, it's Roger Moore, President and CEO of Loan Pronto, announcing our VA Equity Advantage program. This VA offer can get you $50,000, $70,000, $100,000 cash out with no junk fees and no hassle. With APRs in the 5s, you can pay off all those credit cards, personal loans, car loans, and get one easy-to-manage payment. Veterans we help save on average $850 per month. And listen, if you're a veteran with a current mortgage rate over 6.25%, we can do a streamlined refinance with no income verification and no appraisal, saving you hundreds a month. At Loan Pronto, we respect what you've done for our country, and we show it. Call now and ask about our special VA Equity Advantage program. 904-999-1508. 904-999-1508. LoanPronto.com. 904-999-1508.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS consumeraccess.org.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Tonight's show brought to you by Thermal Engineers, and they are hiring a commercial HVAC contractor that has been serving North Florida for over 20 years. Qualified technicians and installers. This is a place for you. Top pay, 401k, full benefits, and a signing bonus. All right, the best way to get there, just go to Thermal Engineers, Inc., or call them at 230-1172. That's 230-1172, an equal opportunity employer. That is Thermal Engineers. Thermal Engineers, Inc. Again, qualified technicians and installers. Top pay, 401k, full benefits, and, of course, a signing bonus, which would be nice. JJ LaSelva is here. Have you ever received a signing bonus before?
Absolutely not. That sounds like something... Well, it makes me think of sports, but after COVID, I saw a lot of that for jobs.
No.
Like the most random jobs. I saw one for like a subs place. You get like $500 if you start working for us. That's how bad they needed people.
Yeah. People, if you're looking for a job,
that's a pretty good incentive.
Yeah, I mean, 401k as well. Full bennies, always important. Saving for that rainy day. Just check them out, Thermal Engineers, Inc. What's going on over there? What's the latest? Braves won earlier today.
The Braves did win a massive game for your favorite pitcher, Chris Sale, of course. The Braves needed that. The wild card race is getting very, very too close for comfort for most of these teams. There's like 4 or 5 teams battling for 3 spots. Baseball is getting very interesting this time of year.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Red Sox playing right now against Seattle. A lot of actually 4-day baseball games.
Yeah, it's like a getaway day
going on, and we actually checked that. We've already had 6 finals in Major League Baseball today.
We had USA basketball today.
We got soccer right now going on.
Do we? Okay.
Yeah.
We defeated South Sudan, which, by the way, I don't know what you're watching, but there's absolutely no way that's live.
This one right here?
Yeah, based on time.
Yeah.
But I didn't know South Sudan was a country. It is, but we beat their ass.
I was just watching before they came back to, this coverage, and I don't know what channel, in fact, it is on, but they were running a Bravo spot. I guess
the channel Bravo.
Yeah, and they were running a commercial there, and it was one of those housewives.
Oh, my girl is obsessed with the New Jersey housewives.
But they go from like picture to picture to picture to picture, and it's like so fast, and they do it in sports as well. I'm like, do people really like that? It like tricks the brain. It's like, well, that's so and so, that's so and so, and before you really get any opportunity for it to register as to who that is, you've seen 4 more pictures. Who likes that?
It's for this generation who, if you watch TikTok and YouTube, they make like these jump cut edits for no reason at all, because I guess Generation Z can't like wait the half a second for someone to take a breath in between words. So I think it's just this entire generation. You need boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. And that is happening, whether you like it or not. I mean, I just think it's, it's almost like to slow down a little bit.
Please.
What happened to slow motion? I like that a little bit better than that fast pitch, but we see it all over, and it's in sports as well. No doubt about it. Hey, let's get to Press Taylor. He I thought did some good things today. He's very thorough. I mean, Press Taylor's a head coach in waiting, okay, if his offense comes together. He looks the part. He sounds the part. There's likability there. I think he's the type of guy that franchises would want to lead their organization. Obviously, we still don't know who's going to call plays this year, whether it be him or Doug Peterson. But let's get to his comments on Tank Bigsby. I thought this was really informative. Jacksonville's Press Taylor, their offensive coordinator, today on second-year tailback Tank Bigsby.
I think so. I mean, just his understanding of the offense, the way things flow, what the expectations are when he comes in the game. Certainly. And Tank was, I think Tank had a lot of unlucky situations last year. The first game of the year, he had a play that I'm sure was a teach tape across the league of picking up a ball that he thought was a dead ball and it getting punched out. I mean, there's just some things that I guarantee you anybody that was in the room the next day will never have that situation happen to them again in our offense or our team because it was a coaching situation. But we trust Tank, and we talked about this at the end of last year, that Tank is just going to continue to get better like we talked about with Brian and our other young guys every single day. And obviously it's going to come down to producing on the field to really, really develop that trust across the unit, but we like where Tank is heading.
And to me, offensively, that is such a huge component to this year's team because there's no question about it. They've talked about it time and again. They really want to do whatever they can to lessen the workload of Travis Etienne. He got the ball too many times last year. And, he got pounded, 267 carries last year for Travis Etienne. That's too many. Let's look back here on Tank. What do you have, 50? He had exactly 50 carries. Yeah, my guess is that when you look at a year where Trevor Lawrence threw it 620 times and they ran the ball 453 times. Now, that includes 70 carries by Trevor Lawrence, okay? I think they would like to maybe get down into the 550, 560 range in passing and maybe get up over 500 when – and actually those numbers, I think because there were a lot of 3-and-outs and there was some struggles, I think those numbers actually, the more that I think about it, could grow both as far as pass attempts and certainly as far as rushing attempts. But instead of 267 and 50 – for Travis Etienne, is it just a few less? Because, again, I envision them winning games. And when you win games, what does that mean? That means that you're going to be running the ball a bunch in the second half. So even though you look at 267 carries, I think a fair number for Travis Etienne is 220, 230. All right? It just comes to Tank Bigsby. Can he take that 50 and make it 150? If you're getting 220 from Etienne and 150 from Tank Bigsby, that's marked improvement until you see anything else that this football team actually does do. And, Ernest Johnson is still there. Keelan Robinson's a guy that they like. I tell you, early on in camp, all of these backs look like they have some skill. Jalen Jackson, the rookie out of Villanova, looks like a power back. All right, I'm not going to say he's James Robinson when he emerged on the scene, a few years back. I do think Jalen Jackson is faster than James Robinson, but he's done a nice job, the rookie out of Villanova. He looks like a low, powerful back. He's listed at 5'9", 216. Haven't really had an opportunity in the first two practices to see any physicality with him. Doesn't mean that that's not coming in the very near future. And then you look at Lorenzo Lingard, a rookie as well, out of Akron, a guy that, a little bit more of a twitchy type of back, but I'm sure they would love to take one, if not both, of those backs and put them on the practice squad once cuts go from 90 to 53. You got to believe that is going to be part of the process. All right, when we come back, let's do a little bit more from Press Taylor. I also want to spend some more time talking about this offense as he got into Trevor Lawrence as well today. It's almost as if those who were freaking out, myself included, about how bad things really were offensively early on, it feels like it's we told you so. Just relax. We hadn't really installed anything, and now that that's come into play, the last 2 days have been really impressive offensively. Let me see. John Osher today wrote that this week, and Osher's going to join us at 7, senior writer at Jaguars.com. This week, Trevor Lawrence, 42 of 52, 8 touchdowns. And, the first 4 practices, Jacksonville had 6 interceptions. They had a fumble, right? I want to say 4 of those picks came from Trevor Lawrence. Those first 4 days left a lot to be desired offensively, but we have seen marked improvement, certainly Tuesday and Wednesday. I thought Monday was much better than Saturday, and that's not saying a whole heck of a lot. But Tuesday was one of the best practices that we've ever seen Trevor Lawrence have, and today was a good day as well. So we have all that to get into, getting a lot of good stuff as well on the text line. If you want to join us, you can, 641-1010. That is the best way to get on in, and it's brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Ballou for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to ShanatriDC.com.
It's storm season, and JEA is committed to keeping you informed. In the event of a storm, we'll text and email you about the status of your services. We use Facebook and Twitter to post real-time updates. Our live outage map on JEA.com lets you track restoration progress. And as crews work to restore services, our storm outreach team will be in local neighborhoods to answer your questions. Because as your community utility, JEA is here to keep you safe and connected. Your community, your utility.
Of course, Roland Reich Plumbing has awards from Folio Weekly and the Bold City's Best. Now, Roland Reich is also confirmed as the Google Guaranteed Plumbing Service. Because when you do plumbing right, the word gets around. That's Roland Reich Plumbing.
This July, celebrate America's independence with a fresh view from Renewal by Andersen. Hi, this is Chelsea. Right now, buy any 4 windows or patio doors and get the 5th free. Plus, enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Our custom-built, energy-efficient windows and doors will enhance the beauty and value of your home. Visit rbafla.com to schedule your complimentary design consultation. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This patriotic chant mirrors the enthusiastic efforts our American athletes have dedicated to their quest for a gold medal at this summer's Olympics in Paris. USAPark.net Airport Parking is your safe and secure parking for when you fly out of JIA. No matter where you're going, whether you're traveling to the Olympics to support our athletes or just visiting Grandma, remember to park at USAPark.net.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On July 31st, 2012, American swimmer Michael Phelps becomes the most decorated athlete in Olympic history after winning the 4x200 meter freestyle relay race at the 2012 London Games.
Hey sports fans, this is Hayes Carlyon from MyBookie. Look, we've all been there before. A weekend trip to the casino canceled because real life came calling. Well, MyBookie's new and improved online casino is here to change the game. Dive into a truly realistic casino experience featuring the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, and live dealer action, all from the comfort of your own home. I love the live casino. The roulette is awesome. It's so easy and so much fun. Just go to MyBookie and click Live Casino at the top. You'll find live dealers ready to deal or spin just like you're at the casino. The MyBookie Casino provides a Las Vegas experience when the action is in your hands. Start at MyBookie today with a generous sign-up bonus using promo code 1010XL, and a revamped loyalty program ensures a host of exclusive VIP perks. So sign up and hit the casino with promo code 1010XL. The more you play, the more you win. Only with MyBookie.
Hey there, Weekend Warriors. It's Matt Hayes. Sick of that slice? Tired of those 3 putts? What if I told you your handicap isn't about your swing, it's about your weight? Why not take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with the Waco 180? We're talking 10 strokes off by August, getting your tour card by September, winning your first major, year 1. Think about it. Fame, fortune, and most important, winning $5 off your buddy because you, sir, are closest to the pin. Taking strokes off your game is just about 40 pounds away at Awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken 180 does not guarantee an immediate 10 strokes off your score, receiving a tour card, or the ability to control the weather. Individual results may vary. Your newfound athleticism might cause jealousy among your foursome, leading to accusations of steroid use. Awaken is not responsible for defending your honor in the clubhouse. Awaken 180 cannot guarantee that your newfound golf prowess will lead to a sponsorship deal, but we can't not guarantee it either. Awaken 180 is not responsible for any dramatic fist pumps or unsolicited golf tips you give to strangers. Awaken 180 does not offer refunds for any lost wagers made on your improved golf game. Bet wisely, my friend. Strokes off your game by dropping pounds off your frame. Awaken180weightloss.com.
For over 40 years, Play It Again Sports has served its customers with a winning, sustainable shopping model. Could say, we were recycling before recycling was cool. Save on quality used sporting goods for baseball, softball, lacrosse, hockey, golf, tennis, and more. Or sell us your gently used gear. We buy all sports, all seasons, and offer cash on the spot. Stop by Play It Again Sports today on Merrill Road near 295 or online at playitagainsports.com.
When the sun goes down, you might think a golf course shuts down, but not at the Golf Club of Southampton. Join the gang every Thursday night for trivia with Brooke and Jason, and everybody's favorite night, Friday night on the patio, featuring local musicians, food, and drink. It's all at the Golf Club of Southampton. Great golf. You've come to expect that. But don't forget, when night falls, the fun doesn't stop. Trivia every Thursday night and Southampton's live music patio session Fridays. Call 287-PLAY to make a tee time and the good time.
The latest in innovative imaging technology is at Ackerman Cancer Center. With total body MRI, PET, and CT scans, plus 3D mammography, offers unparalleled precision in cancer detection. Schedule your screening now at AckermanCancerCenter.com.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Offensive coordinator Press Taylor spoke this morning about the importance of having communication with Doug Peterson.
In here every single day, we're all working side by side. But yeah, I think communication is the most critical thing, especially as an offense. We always tell our guys, we just want 11 people running the exact same play, seeing it the exact same way, IDing who the front side point is, how we're blocking a certain look. As long as we do that, whether it's right or wrong, if we have 11 guys on the same page, we got a very good chance to be successful.
Since Taylor got the job in 2022, the offensive play calling has bounced between Peterson and Taylor. With Taylor's play calling abilities being heavily criticized after last year, Peterson is giving Taylor and the offense another chance to mesh things together this season. I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The text line is spoken, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. And to a man or a woman, no one disagrees with me on these quick graphics. I did get one, get off of my lawn, Rick, which I love that expression. 0724, it's like, yeah, if you complain at all, you're just an old man, yelling at the clouds. I just think it's weird how quick these graphics are. It's like, it's a picture of whoever it may be, Chris Sale, and then, before you know it, it's a picture of Freddie Freeman. Before you know it, it's a picture of Tatis Jr., and it's just bam, 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 and it's like, I don't know. And it's been around for a while. It's been around for what, 10 years or so?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
At least.
I just wonder who comes up with that. What producer or director in the trucks are like, yeah, let's take
a 25-year-old.
Let's take 75 images and put it in a 30-second spot.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I think it's pretty cool. Hey, Jaguars work today. Very extensive practice. 2 hours and 45 minutes. Attitudes really began to flare up today. It was hot, and there was a feeling of annoyance out at the Miller Electric Center. They're off tomorrow, back at it Friday. Saturday's inside Everbank Stadium. It's military appreciation. All right, they're going to have a big event for that. That's always cool. The Jaguars do a good job with the military here. So that's going to be Saturday, and then they'll practice on Sunday and Monday. So off today, 4 straight days, beginning Friday, and we'll be here for it, no doubt about it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to talk with Elijah Cooks on Friday. He had probably the play of camp today. Really showed his ups, went up and made a fantastic grab over Buster Brown. Someone asked me earlier, I can't remember which one here in the text line. I apologize for that. I said, I think Christian Braswell makes this team. He's had a real good camp. He's been all over the place in coverage. And someone asked me, is he better than Buster Brown? I think he is. I do. I mean, when I look at the secondary and I look at the numbers, okay, there's no question that it's Tyson Campbell, Ronald Darby, and Jarian Jones. Those are your top 3, right? Darnell Savage is working as a nickel. He's a 4. I think after that, it's Christian Braswell 5. And then the battle at 6 is probably between Buster Brown and DeAndre Prince. Prince has been very good at times. There's been others where he looks like a rookie. It feels like he's a pretty good player in run support. And, I noticed that before pads went on. I really haven't seen anything since. The guy that intrigues me is Trey Flowers because he's a veteran. He's been around. But you look at his body, he's so long. I just wonder if he still has the speed to be effective in this league. And is that going to be a numbers game? And then you get to Gregory Jr., who's, more of a nickel. He's probably the third nickel behind Savage and Jarian Jones. Gregory Jr. did not have a good day today. He gave up 3 receptions. And it was written somewhere that I did see it was not a good practice for Gregory Jr., so it's going to be a little bit of a numbers game for him as well. All right, let's get back to I said I wanted to mention Trevor and what Press Taylor had to say about, ownership of this offense with Trevor Lawrence after a spectacular Tuesday. These comments were before his work on a Wednesday. It ended up being another very good practice on this Wednesday for Trevor Lawrence. Here's offensive coordinator Press Taylor.
I think it ebbs and flows every single year to where we'd like to do this, and then you either never get the looks for it, we just don't invest the time, there's some reason that keeps us from it, or we just weren't as good as we thought we'd be at something, or a certain player maybe not. So there's things that are always kind of changing every single year. Our offense is not the same as it was 2 years ago. It's not the same as it was last year. It won't be the same come week 12 as we get rolling. It just, there's a constant evolution, I think, with your skill set, what you're really good at, the looks presented to you. But as far as Trevor's ownership, it's more just mastering the little details of things of, why do we like a certain look? And it may be he checked to a play that threw the ball to the flat because that's going to get us a quick completion to a ball carrier in an advantageous situation, or maybe it was a bad situation for us. We had a bad play on, we had a bad look, and the best thing for us right there with the time permitted was to spit the ball to the flat and get somebody going. I mean, there's little things like that. And then as we continue to build and grow and evolve and everybody gets on the same page, it may be we have a run call, they line up in a look that we just know is not right, and he gets us to something completely different. And sometimes that's the best call for us. Sometimes it's getting out of a bad call. And those are the things you want to see from your quarterback.
And it's obvious when you watch him practice, the leadership has grown year after year. You can see it in practice. And these days all run together for me during camp, but I think it was Thursday, when he had the bad performance and he threw those 2 interceptions where he should have thrown it away, picked off by Dewey. Dewey, unfortunately, unable to give it a go again today with the knee. Andrew Wingard did not practice for the Jaguars on Wednesday. But when you watch Trevor practice, okay, he's 110% all the time. He didn't mail it in. This guy is working. And when it's Mac's rep and when it's CJ's rep, okay, he is talking to a receiver, talking to a coach, talking to a back. He's going through his mechanics individually. And what I mean by this is I don't have an example, but I think there are ways to kind of skirt the process, kind of just go through the motions. And that's not the case with him. He is a very diligent worker, a tireless worker. That's why it's frustrating when you see him make those mistakes. And, hopefully that is something that has started to, the elimination process. Let's hope that is the case here for Trevor. Okay, let's get ready for John Osher. He's going to begin our 7 o'clock hour as he does each and every Wednesday night, the senior writer at Jaguars.com. Do want to remind you that going on right now, $1 steamed oysters at the Blue Crab House. Man, no place I'd rather be except for here at Hogan Road. $1 steamed oysters. That is good tonight till 9 o'clock. Tomorrow night, $3 drafts, $4 wines, $5 wells, right off of Julington Creek Road and right off of San Jose. Take Julington Creek Road and you will find the Blue Crab House. Let's get ready for hour number 2.
Jaguars legend, Tony Baselli.
1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
It's time to fire up your grill, shoot off some fireworks, and launch one of the biggest sales in the history of the United States. It's our Independence Sale happening right now at Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet. Whether you drive a car, a truck, or an EV, everyone is welcome to celebrate our Independence Sale with the lowest prices, largest inventory, and the most love for our country. Come celebrate with Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. You don't want to miss this.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
The best game day parking in all of Duval is at Tailgaters Parking. Are you ready for some football? Tailgaters is just steps away on the east side of the stadium. Visit tailgatorsparking.com and secure your season parking pass today.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop. The all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket. And the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
For a chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the Coke Zero Sugar 400 August 24th at Daytona, answer this question. Who was on the pole position for last year's Coke Zero Sugar 400? Text the driver's last name to 641-1010.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and it is hot out there. You know that, Greg. But Honda has a plan for you on or off the road.
They do. There's a ton of Honda scooters, Honda mini motos, great for the beach. Also get you out in the woods with a Honda side-by-side. Plenty to do and stay cool.
Yeah, four-wheelers, and you can trick them out.
We can. From stereo systems to big builds, we do it all.
Everything's there for you to see. CyclesOfJacksonville.com online or on Atlantic near Regency. Check out Cycles of Jacksonville.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's challenger, a paint color namer from Jacksonville, Florida. Meet Irving Stapler.
Hi, Howie.
So the next round is word association. I'll say a word and you give me the first word you think of. Engagement ring.
Jeweler.
Gas station.
Fueler.
Aaron Burr.
Dueler.
Air conditioning.
Wow. Jeez. It's a toughie.
Come on, Irv. The sponsor's going to kill me now.
Oh, Bueller.
That's right, Irv. If your AC is struggling through the summer heat, the first name you should think of for fast, friendly, 5-star service is Bueller Air and Plumbing. The name to know to make sure you are cool.
Have a beer, Irv.
Cooler.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Dandy subs and sandwiches. Look, we always want you to think about those great options as you're driving around Duval. But the beauty is, even as I'm dropping pounds, Dandy's got great options for me as well. Told you all about their protein packs, delicious salads that they have out there. They have fruit cups for on the go. You know what they have. Veggie snack trays. You can grab those on the go as well. Perfect, healthy snack. Dandy is the name to know when you're on the go. So stop into a Gates store anywhere around Duval and make yours a dandy, and do it today.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality product and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Are your kids ready to play this summer? Come check out the Y.
Summer is a time for kids to explore new things and expand the limits of their imagination. At the Y Summer Camp, every day is a new adventure. Kids can learn about STEM, arts and humanities, athletic sports, outdoor games, and more. Registration is now open, but space is limited, and spots are filling up quickly. Learn more and find your adventure at fcymca.org. Search Summer Day Camp.
Do you have clicking, popping, swelling, or pain in your knee or shoulder? This can be due to arthritic changes in your joints. Over time, you have wear and tear of your cartilage. I'm Dr. George Bari, and here at Bari Orthopedics, we have numerous ways to treat your arthritis, such as regenerative medicine, including PRP and joint replacements with CT guidance for accuracy down to the millimeter. If you are experiencing any of these symptoms, call us for an appointment today, or log on to BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
Day 2 in pads for the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Miller Electric Center. A long practice today, 2 hours, 45 minutes. Let's bring in our good buddy. He is John Osher. He is the senior writer at Jaguars.com. Get everything from John and his staff. Constant updates, daily updates on training camp 2024. John, how are you?
Good, Rick. Full disclosure, I snuck away from that long practice to talk to Mike Dempsey for a few minutes on Jaguars today, so missed a little bit of it. But what I saw and what was said afterward, third really good day for the offense, and I guess all the people who were ready to abandon ship on the offense can wait a few days, right?
I thought yesterday was, just sensational. Arguably the best practice we've ever seen for Trevor Lawrence. Press Taylor talked about it. Doug Peterson talked about it, how they weren't implementing really anything early on. Is it that, or did something else happen here the last couple of days?
Well, I think it was that more than anything. In the first few days, we always sort of do this. We've done it a lot in the past. You sort of get panicky, forgetting that they go back to square one on the first day of camp, meaning they're putting in the offense. When they say the offensive install, they're making sure, not necessarily for the veterans, but for the rookies, the young players, they're really at square one and putting in the offense. Every team I've been around has done that. So you've got a handful of plays and you're in red zone. You sit in meetings and you tell the other defense, you tell the defense and the offense respectively, hey, when we do this in the first 5 plays, run this defense. Give us these looks. And then, Andy Reid does this in Kansas City. I haven't talked to Doug specifically about it, but a lot of coaches tell their quarterbacks, hey, this is the time to make throws that you don't know you can make. Force it, see what works. Does that explain everything? No. I mean, there were times during those first couple of days where it didn't look great. But the biggest thing is once you get into this time of camp, you're scheming a little more. You're doing plays that you're trying to work against the defense. NFL defensive players are good. If you just line up and run things that they know are coming, it's why teams scheme during the regular season, Rick, because it's hard to have success if you just run straight at them, if you don't scheme any blocks, if you don't run a little play action, if you're not trying to design things against a certain defense. So, I was never particularly worried about the offense, and Trevor particularly, because we had seen him for 3 years, and he wasn't awful. Well, it didn't stand to reason that all of a sudden he woke up, he came to training camp, and said, I just can't play football anymore. So there was going to be a little bit of a happy medium, and I don't know how great the offense is going to be, but it's certainly going to be functional. It's not a disaster. We're still 7 days in.
Your early thoughts on Brian Thomas Jr., including yesterday with the 2 touchdowns, particularly, being able to display his athleticism on that screen?
Well, I think I said today when somebody asked me about him, I don't know what his stats are going to be, but the athleticism, the speed, the instincts tell me that whatever the stats are, he's got stuff that defensive coordinators are going to have to account for, which will help everything. And he does look like a guy that, I'm not going to say you have to double him to stop him. He's not there yet. But you can't put a linebacker on him, if you follow me. You have to account for him somehow. And when he runs deep, if you don't account for him, he's going to score. So those are things the defense are going to have to account for. He's going to matter, I guess, is my point.
Mm-hmm.
And I think by the end of the season, he's a little further ahead and looks a little more polished in quote-unquote live stuff than I expected. So I think if he stays healthy by the end of the season, he's going to be a guy where fans are looking at him and going, okay, I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's what you want as a rookie. I don't expect Pro Bowls as a rookie. But you want by week 18 or the playoffs, when we're talking in January, for us to go, hey, this, all right, this is going to be a thing. This is a guy we can count on. He looks like he has a good chance of doing that to me, right?
John Osher, our guest, senior writer, Jaguars.com. Jacksonville completed their 7th overall practice today during training camp. Off day tomorrow, then back at it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. All right. Feisty today. A little bit of some pushing and some hitting a little bit after, particularly on those one-on-one pass rush drills that I had an opportunity to watch, even some team activity after the whistle. This is common. We've seen it for years, but it almost felt like today with this very long practice was almost the tipping point of camp so far.
Yeah, maybe misremembering, but it's almost like until Cam shoves somebody, camp hasn't started.
Uh-huh.
Right? Because Cam Robinson's going to be the guy who comes to somebody's defense. He's going to be the first guy, and if there's an in-game brawl. And today, a couple of plays after the first little skirmish, Cam was kind of, playing enforcer on the defensive line. So that, to me, is what you look for in camp. Once the pads start going on, it's going to be feisty. I didn't see anything today, Rick, that was a concern. I didn't see anything that, the coaches in the 60s may have encouraged fighting. Coaches these days don't particularly encourage it because they think it gets in the way and it causes practice to be inefficient.
Right.
I didn't think anything happened today inefficient. It was a couple of scraps. Let's get back to it. It's okay. It's football. I mean, it's. I get no sense that anything today will linger. Yeah. I don't think camps need it necessarily, but it's. I don't know that I've been through one without it, and Tony Dungy hated it, but they still. It's too hard. It's too physical not to have some of it.
Yeah. Hey, let's wrap with a couple of defensive questions. Devin Lloyd, noticeably bigger, 12 to 15 pounds.
Yeah.
Playing the mic. In my opinion, he's been flying all around the football field. What do you make of him so far?
Well, the whole idea is, get the whole defense playing faster, attacking, and not thinking. And Devin Lloyd has always been a guy that when he's around the ball, he has great playmaking ability. He's had trouble getting around the ball consistently at times, more his rookie year than last year. So put him at the mic, make him a little bigger. See ball, get ball, go chase, which is what this defense is a little more than Mike Caldwell's. You would hope it fits him. When asked all off season, who's the one defensive player that you need to step up, who can make a big difference? To me, Devin Lloyd's that guy. It's easy to forget he's a first-round pick. It's Trayvon can make a huge impact with a step up.
Mm-hmm.
Different guys can make an impact doing that. But to me, it feels like Devin Lloyd, that thing that he's expected to bring, which is the playmaking, Swiss Army knife. If he steps up, I think it brings an element to the Jaguars' defense that I'm not sure people on paper, people nationally think it has. He could make it look really playmaking, if that makes any sense.
You wrote today This
don't
week,
do that to me, right?
this week, 42 of 52 for Trevor and 8 touchdowns. But am I wrong in saying that the coverage looks tighter defensively?
Yeah. I mean, and I'll credit where it's due. Gary Smith from the TU is sort of our stat guy. So if it's right, I'll take credit. If it's wrong, I'll blame Gary. But it's even if that's not exact, it sure has looked like that. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel. There was the one touchdown, I think it was yesterday, when they kind of caught the defense and Evan was running right open, and then Andre Sisco pushed him out at the very end as Evan scored. But for the most part, it hasn't been game breaks. It hasn't been bad coverage. Guys are making good catches, big plays. That's what you're supposed to feel in the third year of an offense. Things sort of, some stretches where it feels, I'm not going to say easy, but when it feels like it's not surprising after 3 days when they're going 7 of 8 on offense, right? It's supposed to feel that way. And I think year 3 of the system, and not to push the segment too long, but in year 3 of the system, Evan Ingram, Christian Kirk, Travis Etienne, a lot of guys have been playing together for 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
They sort of know each other. You don't have to think as much, and there's some confidence in the step. And it feels, without jumping too far ahead, it feels like we might be seeing some of that element.
And as we say goodbye, we're 7 practices in, so it's time for me to anoint someone as really the second coming, as I've been known to do each and every camp. But what about Christian Braswell so far?
Yeah, he's a guy that when everybody was sort of hammering the draft class last year, when they weren't contributing X, Y, Z. Remember, he was hurt all last year, pretty much. He got the hammy early, but there's a handful of guys early in training camp that when the football people would whisper, they'd whisper about those guys. And Christian Braswell is a guy that in training camp last year, there was talk that this is a guy who can start in the NFL. Now, I don't know if that means nickel, outside, whatever, but as a later round pick, he was one that everybody said, hey, okay, this is the guy to watch. Well, then you get the hammy and, you come back and look at Tyson Campbell last year. We all know what hamstrings mean. But he sure has looked it, and he makes some things. As a corner, what I always look for is, are there things he makes look easy that are hard?
Mm-hmm.
And he's been doing some of that this year. And, maybe that's why – maybe they know more about the team than us, Rick, because maybe that's why – they didn't feel the need to just push for corner in round 1. Maybe they thought they had guys that there was a percentage chance they could come along and be that. So maybe he whispers to the side, maybe Trent's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. Long way to go.
Stay hydrated, Johnny. I'll see you out there on Friday.
Rick, enjoyed it, buddy. Thank you.
There he goes. John Osher, ladies and gentlemen, senior writer, Jaguars.com. Daily updates, camp observations. He's got with he and his staff. So go ahead and check all that out, the very latest. Yeah, I thought today was kind of the boiling point. And, I don't want anyone to take that negatively. It's expected at this point in camp. And I'm sure the coaches probably figured that something like this was actually going to happen when you drop a 2-hour and 45-minute practice on them. And before the off day. So overall, I thought it was a pretty good day. As far as guys that are not 100% right now, unfortunately for the Jaguars, rookie Keelan Robinson with the toe didn't work today. Cooper Hodges unable to give it a go with the back. That's not good. I mean, the guy obviously injured last year, and I think a lot of people are of the belief that he could be the future at right guard. He's got to get healthy. Stephen Jones, a rookie offensive lineman, he's been out really the entirety with a calf. Adam Gotsis had a stinger. It was just a precaution, but he didn't work today. Jordan Jefferson, the ankle. Again, I was supposed to catch up with Jordan Jefferson after practice today. He had an ankle. He didn't work. We'll see if he's back on Friday. And then Andrew Wingard, who was ill on Saturday, has got a knee and he did not practice. That happened in probably the 5th or 6th play during the first day of pads yesterday during 11-on-11 work. So that's disappointing there for Wingard that he went down with the knee. Outside of that, that's basically it, right? Eric Armstead is on the PUP list, the only guy on this roster who was on the PUP list. The good news today, in my opinion, was the return of Ventrell Miller. You know, I'm looking at here. Toe, back, calf, a stinger, an ankle, a knee. Those soft tissue injuries, particularly hamstrings, can really linger. And it was a tight hamstring yesterday for the former Florida Gator. He was back today. Again, I didn't really see anything out of Ventrell Miller today. Doesn't mean he didn't have a good day. I just didn't see much. I certainly did yesterday before the injury and even going back to Monday. So I still think there's a real opportunity. You know, when you start mentioning guys like Braswell and you start mentioning guys like Ventrell Miller, and I'm sure that, you know, this is the case at all 32 NFL camps. There's so much what if. And I think that this is I don't want to call it a pleasant problem, but it just feels to me like there really is 6 to 8 guys on this year's team where you could write any script. And out of those 6 to 8, can half of them, okay, let's say 4, can you get 4 of them? Would it be too much to ask 5? 5 of them to really step up their game, okay? And some of them are stars, you know, Trayvon Walker to get that much better. Devin Lloyd now at Mike to get that much better. But when you get away from that, okay, I'm talking about Tank Bigsby this year. I'm talking about, can Ventrell Miller give you something? Can Mason Smith give you something? Can Jordan Jefferson give you something? Can Christian Braswell give you something? Whether it's Buster Brown, can he give you something? Is it Trevis Gibson as the third edge guy? You know, can he give you something? See, you start mentioning these names, and it's not going to happen for them all. Jeremiah Ledbetter, snap count guy. Tyler Lacey, fighting for a roster spot. You know, I think that interior defensive line is going to be really, really good. So if you say to Jeremiah Ledbetter, I need you to give us 15 snaps a game. How good is he during those 15 snaps? Tyler Lacey, you know, if he makes it, we want 15 snaps a game. Someone needs a blow. Armstead comes out or Hamilton comes out or whatever it may be. And you need guys to take snaps. How much of a drop down is that? I'll tell you what, Osher just mentioned Trent Baalke. He's done a nice job assembling this roster. I'm still not convinced with the offensive line. I'm not all in because of the OL. And I certainly would have added at least one more pass rush end. But outside of that, I think he's done a pretty good job of putting together the 2024 Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, the next biggest deal is you got to keep these guys healthy. And you can't control that because these injuries can happen anywhere at any time. And that's the case for all 32 teams. We've seen some guys go down already for the remainder of the year. Season lost early on in training camp. All right, when we come back, I thought Press did such a good job today. I think you will find this interesting. If you didn't get a chance to hear it, it's more from Press Taylor, and this time it's talking about depth at wide receiver. And that really follows up what I just said about guys stepping up. Okay, we've heard about Elijah Cooks around here forever. Parker Washington, in my opinion, has had a really good training camp so far. So let's come back and stay with that side of it. Let's get to the receivers, you know, beyond Gabe Davis, Brian Thomas, and obviously Christian Kirk, talking about some depth on this Jaguars offense at wide receiver. We'll do that on the other side with Press Taylor.
Now, a 1010XL Summer Olympic Update brought to you by USAPark.net Airport Parking.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games. The U.S. women's soccer team beat Australia 2-1 today to finish group play 3-0. The U.S. will face Japan in the quarterfinals on Saturday. Canada also advanced to the quarterfinals with a 1-0 win over Colombia. The Canadians will get a chance to defend their gold despite the 6-point deduction for spying on opponents' practices with a drone. Bam Adebayo had 18 points and Kevin Durant had 14 to lead the U.S. men's basketball team to a 103-86 win over South Sudan. The Americans will face Puerto Rico on Saturday. And with 4 more medals today, the United States now has 30 in these games, the most of any competing nation. France is second with 26. China is third with 19. 9 of China's 19 medals are gold, which gives them the lead there. France and Japan have 8 golds apiece. Australia sits in third place with 7 gold medals. The United States so far has collected 5. With this Summer Games update, I'm Ryan Radke, Westwood One Sports.
Hi, I'm April Rose, and we all know about the speed of sound. But have you ever thought about the sounds of speeding? If you drive over the speed limit, there are lots of sounds that you might hear. You could hear the sound of your vehicle crashing, the sound of first responders desperately trying to save you. You could even hear the sound of people crying at a funeral. Because if you drive over the speed limit, you could do damage that's beyond repair. One way or another, speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Doors take us to summers away or winter adventures and afternoon getaways. Your dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors by working with you on a comprehensive plan to help you reach your wealth's full potential. Because doors were meant to be opened. Visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimum supply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE SIPC.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Care you can see.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Attention homeowners, is it time to get your septic tank pumped out? Don't wait until it's too late. At Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic, our experienced technicians use the latest equipment to pump out your tank safely and efficiently, ensuring that your septic system is running smoothly. Neglecting your septic tank can lead to costly repairs and even health hazards. So call Duck Duck Rooter and schedule your septic tank pumping. Call now, 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting. This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On July 31st, 2012, American swimmer Michael Phelps becomes the most decorated athlete in Olympic history after winning the 4x200-meter freestyle relay race at the 2012 London Games.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
Is your roof ready to weather the storm? Don't take chances with your home safety. Schedule a free roof inspection with the experts at Universal Roof and Contracting. Get peace of mind knowing your home is protected from the elements. Save up to 12
$1,250 on your roof replacement, plus flexible financing up to 15 years. Offer expires July 31st. Call 855-ROOF-HELP or click universalroof.com.
License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
Now that's what I call high-quality H2O.
If you want high-quality water in your home at a fair price that won't scare you to death, then talk to someone who knows water and is not a pushy salesman. Contact your local water boy, Keith. I install premium equipment and can repair or even rebuild your existing system. In a business known for aggressive sales tactics, let me show you how my approach is different. If you've got any water problems, contact the water boy at waterboyjack.com.
Mia here, and we've all been there before. A weekend trip to the casino? Canceled because real life came calling. MyBookie's new and improved online casino is here to change the game. Dive into a truly realistic casino experience featuring the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, and live dealer action, all from the comfort of your own home. The live casino is so easy to use. Just go to MyBookie and click Live Casino at the top. You'll find live dealers ready to deal or spin just like you're at the casino. The MyBookie Casino provides a Las Vegas experience when the action's in the palm of your hands and you don't even need to wear pants. Start at MyBookie today with a generous sign-up bonus using promo code 1010XL. A revamped loyalty program ensures a host of exclusive VIP perks. Sign up and hit the casino with promo code 1010XL. The more you play, the more you win, only with MyBookie.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
The coolest thing going on right now is the summer fan sale with 3 ways to save at First Coast Lighting and Fans. Browse their huge selection of high-quality fans to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness. Buy 1 fan, save 10%. Buy 2, save 15%. Buy 3 or more and save 20% off summer pricing on all fans. Visit their showroom near the avenues while inventory is still available and discover the difference that locally owned expertise makes at First Coast Lighting and Fans.
Don't ignore unusual aches or new pains down there. Be proactive and get screened at Ackerman Urology for common cancers of the prostate, bladder, or kidneys. Early detection is the key. With 5 locations across Northeast Florida, visit AckermanUrology.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, the ACC and their preseason media poll is out. I did not vote this year, but results are in. Florida State, number 1, they get 81 first-place votes. Clemson is number 2 with 55. Miami comes in at 3. They got 17 first-place votes. North Carolina State, 4 with 8 first-place votes. Louisville, 5. Va-Tech at 6.
I thought they'd be higher.
5 first-place votes. You thought who would be higher?
Virginia Tech. They have, like, everybody coming back.
Yeah.
I don't think they were necessarily great last year, but I think only, like, 2 of their starters out of 22 are not coming back from last year. And that goes a long way. You saw that with Louisville last year. They had sort of a veteran team like that, and they were pretty good, got to the ACC title game. So, yeah, I think Virginia Tech is going to be a sneaky good team in the ACC. In the ACC, not a sneaky good team in college football.
Virginia Tech is number 1, as you pointed out. They return 91% of their offensive production. And then on defense, they return 83% of their defensive production. So they're all coming back for Va-Tech. SMU, 7. So as far as the new teams, that is the highest. UNC at 8. Georgia Tech came in at 9. They got a first-place vote.
What? Oh, my God.
Well, it gets even better. At number 10 is Cal. They got 2 first-place votes. Those votes should be rescinded.
Are they made public?
They are not.
Okay.
I take voting seriously. I've been a long-time Heisman Trophy voter. if I'm not into it, I'm not going to vote. Like this year, we didn't go to Charlotte.
Right.
We still did a lot of stuff, but I just didn't. I felt like I was fully entrenched in Jaguar training camp, and you shouldn't vote unless you take things seriously. And there's no way that Cal does. I mean,
and it's their beat writers,
right? But they should have those votes taken away.
Exactly. Who was the other one?
Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech, same thing. I guarantee he's a writer from, I don't know, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution or something like that. That's crazy, man. I know it's just the preseason media poll, but yeah, if you're going to make a joke out of it, don't even do it.
Duke 11, Syracuse 12, Pitt 13, BC at 14. BC got a first-place vote.
Oh, my God.
Wake Forest at 15, Virginia, and then Stanford.
Doug Flutie with the vote.
There you go.
So Stanford's picked to be dead last.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, the new teams, SMU 7, Cal 10, Stanford 17.
Now, it wasn't an argument, but yesterday on the Frangie show, they brought up SMU. And all I'm saying is watch out if you're Florida State for that game.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's on the road. It's goofy that they're in the ACC. You've probably never seen them play, but Rhett Lashley has a great offense. Just watch out. That's all I'm saying.
There's no doubt. Some of these games on the road for Florida State are tricky. And I'm not talking about just Miami and Notre Dame.
Right.
I mean, some of them, you better be ready to go. And, the reports yesterday out of Tallahassee was that DJ Uiagalelei had his best practice yet, and that was a padded practice, including very impressive touchdowns to Ja'Kai Douglas and Kentron Portier. But let me see here.
And we know how college players are. You say it all the time. They overlook those type of games.
No, it's amazing.
Especially like a road game against NC State after you just beat Clemson or whatever the hell it is. You're smelling your own farts. You think your whatever don't stink. Everyone around campus is talking you up, and you lay an egg in the next game. It happens a lot in college football.
They open up in Nevada. Then they have Houston Christian.
Who? SMU?
SMU.
Okay.
Home with BYU, home with TCU, home with Florida State. They could be 4-0 by that Florida State game. See, for years, I used to, in pro football, it's so simple. Okay, you want Houston to lose every game. You want Indy to lose every game. You want Tennessee to lose every game. Because of what we were just talking about, and my whole thought about how the attitude, the mental preparation of a game for a guy who plays on Saturday compared to a guy who plays on Sunday is so incredibly different. Okay, if you are a Florida State fan, you don't want TCU beating the living snot out of SMU the week before you play them. Now, you may make the point, why not, Ballou? That means they're not good. The Horny Frogs are crushing them. That's what I want. I've always looked at it as, no, they're going to give you their best. You're Florida State. Doesn't matter if they're 0-4 or 1-3 or 4-0. They're going to give you their best. I would rather have on Saturday these teams win so Florida State doesn't overlook them. So they say, wow, did you see what SMU just did? They just pounded BYU and they pounded TCU.
And they're undefeated.
Yes. Now, in pro football, that's totally different. That is absolutely different. But in college, I've always felt that way. And I think it's more of the mental capacity of amateur football players. Hey, the AP poll doesn't come out until August 12th. That seems late to me. We've always had all these polls come out way too early, and my answer to that has always been the earlier the better, simply because it puts college football out there, and people, even in huge professional cities, will take a little bit of time out to talk some college ball. So the sooner the better. But I don't know. I haven't tracked history on this, but it just seems like this is coming out later this year.
What was the date?
Than it normally does. August 12th. It's still 2 weeks away.
Yeah, I don't know, but I assumed, or I remember that being out like around now.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I could be wrong about that. Yeah, I love it. People, dog the preseason poll. But it gives you something to talk about in college football. It's stupid because Miami will probably be in there, Tennessee. Yeah, like the same teams are always way too high every year. But it's fun. I like it.
I do too. For the reason I just gave you. Create a little bit of attention with this sport. Hey, camp opened up today for the U. Camp opened up today for UF. It'll open up tomorrow for Georgia. Of course, Florida State's already had 6 practices because they play in 24 days, which is just incredible.
I'm ready.
And I still haven't received anything back from Florida State. Maybe my credentials in doubt. Because the audacity of me asking last year why Jared Verse wasn't practicing. They are going to be, wow.
You got admonished for that.
I've been doing this for 32 years. Never has there been a situation where you talk to a head coach post-game or post-practice where you can't ask about a guy who wasn't practicing. But apparently that's Mike Norvell's rules. And right now Mike Norvell's walking on water, whatever. And I'm happy. Okay, and I hope he does another outstanding job for Florida State in 2024. But they're supposed to be practicing here next week on the 7th and 8th over at UNF, and I still haven't heard as to whether or not any fans can get involved. So hopefully their practice is a little bit later so I can kind of fly through the Jaguars for at least half of their work and then slide on over to UNF and watch Florida State practice.
Speaking of practice in the Jaguars, did you see who was spotted at practice for the Las Vegas Raiders in full Vegas Raiders gear?
No.
77-year-old Tom Coughlin.
Really?
Now a special advisor on Antonio Pierce's staff.
Wow.
Yeah, he's photographed alongside Marvin Lewis and Pierce. He's got the full black outfit on, the hat. I love it.
It's a lifer.
My guy's out there.
It's a lifer. What he can add is very important. I don't think there's any question about that.
Especially for such a new coach, a young coaching staff.
Mm-hmm. No. All right, let's get to the press on the other side. We kind of rambled on a little bit here on some college football, but that is important as well. One other nugget, maybe I'll get to it a little bit tomorrow, but you talk about, we had fun with the graphics a little bit earlier and just everything now computerized and whatever it's going to be. But this, Adam Schefter, an interesting report today. The chain gang's going away. It is literally going to go away. Can you imagine if you dug up Lombardi? Or you dug up Hank Stram or Tom Landry.
Putting a chip in the ball, boys.
And out of everything else that's happened, you explain to them that there's no longer even a chain gang in the NFL. That no need for you guys any longer, to be. And that's where we're headed.
It's been a long time coming. They should have been doing this a long ass time ago, in my opinion. Especially the chip in the ball, to tell if the ball is a first down or if it goes over the goal line or something. I don't know why we've been relying on these guys and their eyes for so long when we've had it in tennis. We have it in basically every other sport.
Yeah.
And the NFL is the number one sport.
Mm-hmm. It's going to happen.
Good.
They put the cameras behind the goal in the NHL. They are, before you know it, QuezTech, whatever it's going to be, is fully going to be entrenched in Major League Baseball when it comes to balls and strikes. And we're going to see no chain gang in the NFL. That's going to be implemented as well. All right, let's put our final thoughts on this Wednesday edition. I want to wrap it up, as promised, on the receiver depth outside of the top 3 guys here for the Jaguars. Press Taylor really expressive about that earlier today, and we will do that coming up.
Get in the game.
On one, ready.
With 1010XL, Jacksonville Sports Superstation.
It's time to fire up your grill, shoot off some fireworks, and launch one of the biggest sales in the history of the United States. It's our independent sale happening right now at Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet. Whether you drive a car, a truck, or an EV, everyone is welcome to celebrate our independent sale with the lowest prices, largest inventory, and the most love for our country. Come celebrate with Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. You don't want to miss this.
Integrity, persistence, and standing up for victims. It's what you want in a personal injury case and what my friend and lawyer Glenn Cohen brings to every case for over 40 years. Call Glenn at Barnes, Cohen & Sullivan.
Good people drink good beer, and great people drink Mocama, a refined craft brewery out of Fernandina Beach, Florida. Mocama Beer Company brings sophisticated flagship beers, including Cosmico IPA and Dune Garden Lager, to the greater Jacksonville area. Whether you're hitting the water with friends or enjoying a backyard barbecue, Mocama has the perfect fare for your summer activities. Look for us wherever great beers are sold and find your Mocama.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, presented by FIS, is home all week at 121 Financial Ballpark. Tonight is ViStar Good as Everywhere Wednesday, featuring Dreams Come True. Tomorrow is Coors Light Thirsty Thursday with beer specials. Then it's Red Shirt Friday with fireworks, and the first 2,000 fans on Saturday get a water bottle, plus more fireworks. Baseball all week and weekend. Tickets start at just $5. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball.
1010XL's running game takes a giant step forward.
Well, Fred Taylor is the whole package.
Fred Taylor joins Dan and Jeff on the drill. Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein & Robbins DUI defense firm.
Bueller Aaron Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's challenger, a paint color namer from Jacksonville, Florida. Meet Irving Stapler.
Hi, Howie.
So the next round is word association. I'll say a word and you give me the first word you think of. Engagement ring.
Jeweler.
Gas station.
Fueler.
Aaron Burr.
Dueler.
Air conditioning.
Wow. Jeez. It's a toughie.
Come on, Irv. The sponsor's gonna kill me now.
Oh, Bueller.
That's right, Irv. If your AC is struggling through the summer heat, the first name you should think of for fast, friendly, 5-star service is Bueller Air and Plumbing. The name to know to make sure you are cool.
Have a beer, Irv.
Cooler.
Stay cooler with Bueller. Visit BuellerAir.com.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Here's your 1010XL First Coast Community Calendar.
Dreams Come True is a local wish-granting organization giving dreams and special times to local children battling life-threatening illnesses. Find out how you can help at dreamscometrue.org.
The Wounded Warrior Project provides what medicine and technology can't: community, counseling, and a second chance. Find ways to help at woundedwarriorproject.org.
If you're between ages 16 and 24, you can learn a career in construction, electrical, plumbing, or masonry with free training from the AMI Kids Florida Registered Free Apprenticeship Program. Call 576-7337.
There's a critical need for all blood types. Please consider donating at a local blood donation center.
If you could benefit from a grief and loss support group, call Haven Hospice at 279-1677.
If you're involved in a community event and you'd like us to help spread the word, find out how at 1010XL.com.
Former Jaguars corner and first-year head football coach at Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows, K-12, Aaron Beasley here. Are you looking for an A-rated K-12 school prioritizing academics, arts, and athletics? Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows offers a rigorous curriculum to develop strong minds with an additional focus on growing good hearts. DCSB has been an A school for 8 years, and our tuition is free. Now enrolling. Apply at baymeadowscharter.org.
Sports fans, JJ LaSalva here. When I need to send my bride flowers or a plant for birthdays or anniversaries, I always go with Hume Flowers. After all, they've been the leading florist in these parts for over 75 years. You can always rely on Hume Flowers.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Packer Nation will join you at 8. The Jaguars off tomorrow. We're not. We'll be here. I'll be here. 6 to 8 on Thursday, 6 to 8 on Friday. The Jaguars back at it Friday. Military appreciation inside the stadium on Saturday. Practices on Sunday and Monday. So after the off day, 4 straight work days for the Jaguars. Before today's practice, Press Taylor had a lot of intriguing things to say about the offense. I've been telling you about the depth outside of Christian Kirk, Gabe Davis, and Brian Thomas Jr. Let's hear from the Jaguars offensive coordinator on that.
Those guys are all doing a great job. And it's good to see, Devin. We feel like Devin's going to have a role on this team as a returner. So getting him mixed in, and whether it's inside out, all the different ways you can use a guy like that, because odds are he's going to have a jersey on game day. So how do we use all the people that are available to us, and getting him mixed in there, and then seeing Parker, Elijah, Tim, Seth Williams, Cephas, all these guys competing for this spot. Skates has made a couple plays in the last couple days. All these guys just competing, and that's all you want to see. We're very intentional with what we're trying to do, with what we envision a role being for these people in the red zone or third down or in the run game. And then special teams periods are critical for those guys. So it's hard for those guys at times, because you're going from 7-on-7 where you're competing your butt off to special teams to all of a sudden you're in team reps and you got to block defensive ends and toss crack schemes. But that's what comes with the job. That's how you earn jobs around here. And so you want to develop that trust in them, that they know what they're doing and they can do it, and then really see that skill set flourish. But that, as you look at the back end, a lot of it's special teams value and then trust. Can we trust you to go in and play the slot, the outside, whatever, based on what happens in a game? Because that's typically how game day goes for us.
Yeah, and, are they a game day? Are they healthy? Or are they active because they can play on special teams? And that really comes in for Joshua Cephas, Joseph Skates, and Brevin Easton. 3 guys that are getting some fair opportunities here. I don't think any of the 3 make the team. I think it's got practice squad written all over it. I do believe that Joshua Cephas has the best chance of making it, but your top 5 are set with Kirk, Davis, Brian Thomas Jr., Devin Duvernay, and Parker Washington. And then you get to number 6. And who is it? Tim Jones seems to survive. I think Elijah Cooks offers more. Do you keep 7? That's rare, but the Jaguars have done it before. Seth Williams, it really hasn't shown me as much now as he did back during OTAs. Austin Trammell's on the outside looking in. Denzel Mims is a veteran who has done a couple of nice things in camp, but, it's a numbers game. And I would expect them to keep probably 3 wide receivers on the practice squad. I mean, that is a position that you want to have bodies there. Just look at all the injuries a year ago. And look how it affected this team. Agnew went down. Kirk went down. Zay Jones went down. And you need other guys to be able to step up. So that's going to be really interesting when it's all said and done, the back end of the roster. And I think most of that will come down to the four core special teams. And that four core special teams, for the most part, over the last couple of years, became more of like a core two because the kick game wasn't really involved, right? I mean, the percentage of kickoff returns were minuscule. Well, we know that is absolutely going to change. And whether it's kick return or kick off, to me, that's a fascinating component about who you want on your kickoff team. And this organization has had some really good gunners over the last couple of years. Chris Claybrooks, up until a year ago, he was on the commissioner's exempt list, no longer on the roster. We do know that. Daniel Thomas, among others, this has been a good football team when it does come to being gunners and being involved in that particular position, whether it's on punt or kick. All right, let's put our final thoughts on this one right here on this Wednesday.
Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
Today was, it was a hot one out there. Shad Khan in attendance over at the Miller Electric Center. But it was a 2-hour and 45-minute practice, and it got feisty at times, that offensive and defensive line getting after it, which was good to see. It was another really strong effort today by Trevor Lawrence. Trevor, 14 of 17 during 11 on 11 and 7 on 7. Threw a couple of touchdowns to his backs. Travis Etienne during 7 on 7. Also hit Tank Bigsby during 11 on 11. So, overall, I thought it was a good day for the offense. And, if there's any negativity that you can bring up about this football team right now is they do have some guys that aren't able to give it a go. And I'm sure this is standard. I know it's standard across the league. This includes a couple of rookies, Keelan Robinson and Jordan Jefferson. But you look at a guy like Andrew Wingard, who, had really been right there inserted in camp as a guy that had a chance to win a safety spot. I still don't think and haven't forever thought that is going to be the case. In my opinion, it's Antonio Johnson who is going to be, your starting safety there next to Andre Sisco. I've really been bragging about depth. That's the one position to me right there outside of defensive end where it just doesn't feel like there's a lot of depth, right? Daniel Thomas, great special teams guy. Andrew Winger, great special teams guy. A great safety if you know that your opponent's going to run the ball. You really don't want him out there in coverage, in my opinion, right? And then you got guys like Eric Hallett and Terrell Edmonds and, maybe Darnell Savage when push comes to shove. If Jarian Jones really makes that leap that so many people have projected and becomes a starting nickel, can Darnell Savage really make it where they have three safeties that they really love with Andre Sisco, Antonio Johnson, and Darnell Savage? I don't know. Time will tell with that. So we shall see. All right, that's going to do it for us right here. I don't check this text line out. The show is over. You can always get me on Twitter, okay? Ballou1010XL. Packers coming up next. Thank you to JJ LaSelva. Thank you to John Osher. My name is Rick Ballou. I will talk with you tomorrow on a Thursday from 6 until 8 right here on your home of the Jags.